Welcome to the Unicorn Convention podcast. I am your host, Finn. Finbar? Did I forget if I
Thin bar in brackets.
yeah. Finbar in
Very important.
brackets. And today I am joined by two guests and a co-host. Who are they? I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Jack. I'm the co-host who also might be taking over as. Oh, I'm not gonna say anything else on that.
Yep. So I am Jared, your esteemed guest, and
I'm Bailey. Hello. I'm here all the time, every time. I've not missed a single one. This is so much fun.
I
Have
don't think any of us have missed one, but sure.
no.
Man.
True.
I think we need to one of us needs to be killed off so one of us misses it.
Yeah.
Like that's how they
Can
do
you
in
guys
TV shows.
all of you are just like, can you guys please orchestrate a hit? Can you please do that?
Do we do scissors, paper, rock to determine it? Let's go. Let's do it.
Who gets to kill me?
All right.
Or who
Scissors,
gets to die?
paper, rock. Okay.
Three-way tie.
So I did
Three-way
rock and
tie.
I beat Bailey and Jared. Jack did paper, so he beat me, and Bailey and Jared beat Jack. Okay, well, today is a fun day as we look
just
back on.
explaining for all of our listeners.
Yes.
Sorry, don't let me.
You interrupted me. How dare you? So we're going to look back on some comedy projects we did, some maybe from a month ago, some maybe from a year ago. But before we go to that, I'm interested to hear each of you recommend a comedy movie to the other three of us. I'm going to say, does anyone have any ideas? Shake your head if you don't have one immediately coming to mind.
Does it have to be a movie or can it be a TV show?
It can be a TV show. Go ahead. You
Okay.
have an idea? Shoot.
Yeah, because I just finished it. I binged it with my parents. We watched Ted Lasso, and it was so funny, so funny.
Did
Like
y'all take an
literally
Aussie?
the first. That's really funny. Um,
Thank you.
it's literally the first like 3 episodes we were on the floor laughing. It was so ludicrously hilarious.
I need
And I
to
think it's just
recommend
awesome.
your family to go watch Shrinking now because
Mum
that's
has,
yeah, it's the same creator. It's the same level of humor and I think like season 2
and I've
is just
seen that. I've seen that. You know that one scene.
I don't know what you mean, but I really hope it's the one I'm thinking of, but I won't say because I think it is just one of the best comedy moments this show has.
Yeah, it's the when they come into his office.
Oh,
Oh, not maybe a
you
different
gave her
scene.
a rock,
What?
and in your head, that means something?
No, not that one.
No, I think it is. Okay, anyways,
The
you can
raw dog one. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, Jared, Jack.
Okay, I'll go because for once, I actually have something. My go-to family comedy movie is Daddy's Home with Mark Wahlberg
Yeah, I
and
am
Will
home.
Ferrell. Yeah, good job, Ben.
Thank you. Why?
Because it's hilarious.
It is
Hilarious
really
in what
funny.
way?
I haven't watched it in a while, but
But you said it's your go-to.
remember, I don't watch movies that often, but like, and my family has watched it a couple times, and the sequel's all right, but yeah, they're pretty funny.
Daddy's home too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one with Mel Gibson and John
John
Lithgow.
Lithgow. Speaking of John, Jack, what about you?
Oh yeah, I forgot you can call people who are named Jack, John, and vice versa. Anyway, if you're looking for something to just turn your brain off to, because I feel like in this current climate of the world, we all need to do that at least once a week at the very least. I recommend the 2000 just piece de la resistance that was Dude, Where's My Car, starring
I
Ashton
fucking
Kutcher
knew
and the other
it.
dude.
I should have
Um,
known.
It's
Oh my.
yeah, I've
That's
just solicited just the most groan infested reaction, but
No.
yeah,
It's just that we maybe knew that would be the answer.
yeah. I can't believe I thought the answer would be anything other than that.
is that, is that movie just so me coded to you guys now? Is that has that
Yes.
just become part of my
Yeah,
personality?
Yeah.
It's synonymous.
I think it's the same thing where if I say like sinners,
Yes.
yeah.
Or Knives Out.
Yeah, but that's
Glass
just
Onion.
that's just a great fucking movie that I didn't push you guys to watch over and over and over.
Yeah, that's very
You
true.
guys should also watch Knives Out and Glass Onion if you haven't.
Oh, who hasn't? Such a good movie.
Yes. So the reason I asked that question is because my answer currently of just a comedy movie recommendation is just the new Naked Gun movie.
Oh, bro.
Oh,
Will's gonna
Yeah,
be.
I watched it and I told Will because he had his hesitance about it because he loves the originals that he would love this one because I think it does a great execution of referencing the original in a funny way. It does everything in a funny way. It is everyone will say it over and over and over. It's a movie that just constantly every 5 seconds makes a new joke and they all work. Some of them will go over your head but you will still laugh at numerous one of them. I was so happy to be in a cinema full of people, so you just got to hear everyone's laughter of it all collectively. It's
Yeah.
so joyful, so fun. Watch this movie at least with one or more people
Yeah, I
because
definitely want to watch it and watch the originals too, because Leslie Nielsen is hilarious and Liam Neeson looks to be just as hilarious in this new one.
it's great. I recommend it. I think it may reach a state of influencing a lot of movies going forward in some way of like comedy movies. But we'll
also,
see how that
I'm just
happens.
gonna have the floor for a minute because Will's probably gonna cut this out because he was not gonna think the Naked Gun movie is worth talking about. So, Finn, what was your comedy movie that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, I have to say Glass Onion then.
Yeah, it's good.
If Will's gonna cut out the Naked Gun, then we gotta say Glass Onion
He's not
because
gonna cut out the.
I
Oh,
know, but I get to
I was,
answer another
I was
thing.
making a joke.
Yeah, and I ran
okay.
along with that joke. Speaking of jokes, comedy movies have jokes. Comedy shorts have jokes. A year ago, well, I was gonna say a year ago we filmed it, but we filmed it at this like at the start of 2024.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
We're
January.
approaching the
Shit.
It
Release,
was
anniversary of the
A
movie.
January.
while
release,
ago.
released a year ago.
Yes, it was released a year ago. Quotation marks Australia, quotation marks.
Jebaited Presents Australia in quotation
Yes,
marks.
quotation
Or
marks. We did
Jebaited
that.
as we often call it.
I can't remember when, but it was like a month ago. I heard somebody use the word debated. And I tapped them on the shoulder and I said, "You're not gonna fucking believe what me and my mates did a year ago." Oh shit, wait.
Nice.
I forgot to tap him on the shoulder. So I never told him.
Aw, you got me hyped up.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we could
how
have
was
had
that
we could have had
experience?
one singular extra view on the YouTube video of our
Yeah, you
film.
know how important views are.
Viewership is everything.
Alrighty, so I was only there for two of the three shoots because my job prevented me from attending 100% of them. But
Was
my
it the
question to
first?
you all,
Which
It
one did you
was
miss?
the first day.
The first
yeah,
day,
the
yeah.
day where it was like raining and you guys almost got it almost compromised the
I
entire thing.
also missed that. I was
Yeah.
also not there.
Yeah,
I
because the
was
first
there.
day was Jared, you, me, Will, Jack, and
Matt.
Matthew Lewis, who is not
Jack.
dead.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Matt's not dead, guys. Just for those who are listening, we just want to reiterate
Yeah, we're
Matthew
carrying
Lewis.
one very obscure inside joke. And also
Yeah.
we should mention it was Jack Lewis that was in
Who is
attendance.
alive.
Thank you.
Is this going to be a running thing whenever we mention someone?
Well, yes,
Lewis.
William McGinnis, we should also clarify, is alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's still one of my favorite podcast moments was when Jack was like, and sadly,
We're meant to be
Matt.
reflecting on Jebaited, not our first podcast episode.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
we can make that episode down the line reflecting on our first recording. Anyway, so how did that first day go? Because yeah, I heard a lot of just
Shit.
good and bad things
It was
in
funny.
kind of equality regarding that day. So yeah,
So,
what were the main challenges?
okay, so basically, check the weather. That's very important. You should do that. We did not do that. So we stroll up to our filming location and it's windy as hell. Kind of makes sense
yeah.
because it's like a peak, like the peak sort of point looking over. But
Yeah.
then
Was it raining at that point? I think
I
it was just
think like
sprinkling.
we still kind of set up and then
Yeah.
all we
And it started
tried,
pouring.
yeah, it started pouring, and we were like, shit. So we go to our second location for the day, because it was a park that had
Was
undercover.
nearby.
I had to walk. We walked to it, right? It was you and me. We walked to it with
No, it was you and Will and
and
Jack, I
Jack.
think.
Yeah,
Me and
because
Matt,
Was
because
we
Matt
needed to
had the
take care of the
suit.
talent, and you had the car. Okay.
Yeah. And me and Matt drove to the park, and it was very fun because I played the Minecraft song and it said the word it's raining now. And it was raining. It was
And
very
I'm
funny.
only learning about this over a year later.
Yeah, same. Way to gatekeep us, Jared.
Yeah, what the fuck? So we
Yeah, you
hid undercover.
stupid. Sorry.
We we hid undercover, and admittedly we hid undercover for like 2 hours to where we kind of got to the point of being like, yeah, we might like be fucked for today. But it was okay because like you can always film it another day. We only needed like us five possibly to do it again, and that would be a simple reorganization. And it was the only day where we'd be outside. But we went to go to a lunch break, and as we're eating lunch, we turn to the outside and go, "Oh, it kind of looks like the rain has stopped."
And we checked the radar and it was looked okay.
And we said, "Shit, let's do it. Let's go. Let's go." So we ran back to the location, filmed the first location scenes with success, went to the second location, filmed the second location scenes. The sun set, and then we went to go watch our favorite cricket team lose.
Oh, don't remind me about that.
Did they actually lose?
Yeah, they did. They got smashed that game.
I think I remember cheering that we lost.
Yeah, because you always cheer teams that even if you somewhat support, if I support them like full on, you always cheer for them to
It's
lose.
because you like have more stake in the team's success.
Exactly.
So your
Because
reaction is like more painful for you when they lose.
exactly, like the City Thunder was so shit that year, but they were better the next year. So anyway,
I'll always
I was
love
gonna
them
ask,
though.
yeah, which so that was the Big Bash you were watching because I remember
yeah.
on the final day filming at Bailey's house, we were watching I think it was Australia versus the West Indies.
Yeah, it was the test match.
Yeah,
Was
so
was an Australian Open also on?
yeah, it
No,
was
it
It
Dave
was
was,
Clarkson's
but
farm.
it was
The
on
fuckers.
one of the
Channel 9.
TVs.
maybe.
Oh yeah, we had the two TVs going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of
And
them was the in the big lounge room it was the Australian Open, and in the one where we were filming, we had the cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that vividly.
yeah, see, we
Speaking
have
of
our priorities.
exactly. Speaking of vivid memories, I want to ask you all about the talent that you guys employed for this production because obviously a lot of us played roles both behind the camera and on camera, but I want to ask about the three main actors, Austin, Holly, actually no, not Holly, Julia and
That's a character.
I'm getting character and actor names confused. That's my bad. But yes, Austin, Julia, and Maka. What was the process in selecting the kind of actors? What skills were you particularly looking for them to bring to the table? And to what degree do you think they accomplished them?
Okay,
Okay, I think Bailey should
so
answer this question.
no,
No, I
I
feel
should
like this
answer
is
this
very
question
an
because
open
I have
question.
a great answer. So basically, what went through the process as the director of this project? What went through the process was basically just asking Bailey, "Hey, do you have any actor friends that you can recruit?"
That's literally it. They were all in my. So two of them I went to an acting school with, and then another one I was doing uni with. And they all knew each other because they were more interconnected at that acting school. They'd been there for longer than I had. So they
Believe
actually,
so.
all three of them knew each other, and I like didn't know that. But yeah, it was really fun. Like I remember the main reason why I chose those three was because they were available and could make it to the dates
Yeah,
that we had set.
Yeah,
There's
those are some
really
very
not
great like
much other
criteria.
strategic,
yeah.
and we know they can act.
Yeah, I feel like we never had anything in doubt that they could help out. It was just, I think, the only thing me, Finn, and Bailey would discuss and Will was like which interviewee they would be.
And I think it was selected very well.
Yeah, it worked out very nicely.
I
Yeah.
love one of my favorite things was the fact that we changed one of the monologue parts. It was the drop bear part. We had two versions of it essentially, and one was not in the script and one was in an old version of the script where we realized the one that we were going to use wasn't working. And so I told Maka, who was the one that had to say it, hey, I have this other version of it. what if we do this one? They looked at it, said, yeah, that's good, memorized it, and then went to do it. And I just have to say, memorizing this shit is so hard. Like, I can't even memorize like a little minute thing. So the fact that they went and saw it and maybe like 3 or 5 minutes later had it memorized pretty well, pretty solid. I'm like, I give all the props to the skills that you actors acquire.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the great things about like the acting school that we went to. We did a lot of like on stage theatre productions. Like it wasn't really film acting. So like we have to remember the script. We don't just kind of show up for a day and then shoot those specific scenes. Like we have to memorize the full thing. And I feel like, yeah, those are skills that Macca employed really, really well. And I feel like all three of them did an incredible job.
Yeah, I'd say that tennis player though, he didn't do very well.
Jared, you
Oh,
know
what are you talking
that
about? He was my favorite. He was my favorite actor in the whole thing.
Jared, you know that you were the tennis player, right?
What?
Oh, good, he
Oh
knows. He
my
knows.
God.
I just wanted to be sure. But yeah,
Yes, I
that
forgot who
was
I played.
yeah, but that was day two, was the interviewee scenes, and it was
Hmm.
indoors, so we didn't have to deal with the fear of the rain.
Yeah, I remember setting up for that in your garage,
Yes, it's a great
and
garage.
it's not dead.
Yeah, we should
But
film
you
there again.
know,
Yeah,
Matthew
but
Christopher Lewis is
Matthew
also
Lewis
he's also
is
alive.
also.
He's not dead.
Can we have like a one of those funny like counters for like how many times
Yes,
we
We are
mention
going
Matt
to
Lewis is not dead?
run this joke into the
to the
grave.
ground.
But yeah, that
Let's
And
was
it's
either do
day
only
this.
two
out,
of three.
and it's only our editor. Please insert how many number of episodes. It's only our episode.
Okay, hold on. So you're gonna edit one of these numbers into that moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And please take it out of the actual one I said, so it's literally not actually said in that count. Anyways, let's go
Which means it
back.
also doesn't make sense because it's not eight. It's not like it's our seventh episode.
The
And it's
seventh
just
episode.
incorrect.
It'd be
Mhm.
even funnier if we didn't even get to like because Finn counted to 10.
We
If
just
we
did
didn't
that
get to 10
whole
episodes, like we just quit the
awkward
whole thing
thing in.
afterwards.
You saying
And just
budget
that
cuts
whole
canceled?
exactly like those extra few numbers were just like a completely moot point.
Yeah, guys,
Anyway,
this is going
back
to be our 10th episode.
and it's just like the lost media or just not media at all. Anyway, I want to go back to because Bailey, you were mentioning the sort of on the fly change to Macca's interview. What other kind of weird little on the fly things were done with Jebaited? Because I remember reading Finn's script and I was thinking, yeah, this is pretty good. And then being on set for the filming, I noticed a lot of things kind of went in different directions, which I think were all really good. Can you and also Jared and Finn, if you want to chime in, can you guys sort of give a few of those little examples of just how things slightly deviated?
I
I
think it was
love.
just that. Oh, wait, no, you go.
Okay, I love.
Yeah, so I love.
Okay, but I do want to say that I love how you compliment saying, "Oh, it's a great script." When I remember part of the script of the Sticks McGee interview, which we filmed on day three, fun day, and it's literally just the interviewer asking Bailey a question and Bailey giving the most dull answer in the script because I knew and the plan was for him to improvise and answer however he fits. A lot of the different takes that we did of that scene, it's always like a different answer, it's a different way of delivering it, and it's not written in my script. So one is like your favorite sport. He has a way of saying it, but in the actual script it just says hockey. And that was one thing that I deeply loved is just Bailey, your ability to just make up your answer. And I feel like honestly, if I told you make the answers and the delivery of it different each time, you could have done that.
Yeah, that scene. Oh, we spent all day. Can I just say, we spent a full shooting day on
That
that
one
one
take.
scene, that one take. And that's the other thing, the scene was all one take. So we couldn't
Expertly done.
I
exactly
was lazy.
splice it together in an edit because we
Yeah.
had the camera like following us like it's a mockumentary essentially. So the camera was following us the whole way. And I remember just thinking, we're all laughing at this. We're all finding this really funny. I think it's too inside. I think it's going to flop. I thought all of the jokes were like, they were hitting because it was us and we were having fun with each other. But I was like telling my mum and dad after we'd filmed, like, oh yeah, and I said this and I did this thing. And they were like, okay, cool.
Yeah, they're old.
And I was
so
like,
who cares?
oh, awesome. So I guess this is just gonna. The other thing I remember feeling is I got very, very creative in the use of props. And as a result of my creative use of props, there were certain takes in which props had not been reset because I hadn't thought that far ahead because the take was so long. So there's probably a solid 7 or 8 takes of me getting to the exact same point where I have to pull a piece of paper out of one of the drawers in my kitchen and it's not there. And I just have to
We'll
like
release them on Patreon.
every single time I was like, I forgot to get paper. And then we'd start laughing.
Because it was just funny to see you fail
Yes.
and laugh at your misfortune. I need to remember though, there's one thing I don't recall if I ever said it, but I have told this to other people, telling this story of, you know how we did a lot of the takes and we got some good takes, and then we had to go to lunch and we came back and I was like, can we like do one more, but go crazy, do whatever you want. Remember that?
Yeah, that was on
You said
the second day, I want
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah, and we used that wild take. But I gotta be honest, the only reason I wanted to do like the one more wild take was because I forgot to take a photo of us during the takes filming it. And I took that photo during
like a behind the scenes photo.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to take a photo. That's the full reason I asked us to do it again.
And you want to know what's really funny about that is that I took that opportunity to think, what is literally everything that I could do to make Matt crack? How can I make him laugh? That was the only thing that I wanted to get out of the scene. I just wanted to make him laugh. And he gave me nothing.
He
And
was so good at that
respect,
scene.
respect. Because
Yeah.
there were points where I was like, I remember I did a thing in the scene where I actually had to rearrange my kitchen to make sure that no electrical appliances got damaged, where I make up a martini, it's water in a cocktail
A
shaker.
water martini.
Yeah,
Should've got,
water,
like, Coke or
water that
something.
I put in a cocktail shaker that I poured for myself. I then overfill it because I was like, oh, it's going to be so funny if he's like standing there waiting for an answer and I'm just filling up my martini and it's just spilling
Didn't
onto
you
the
didn't you
table.
do that by accident the first time, and then we liked it and we
No,
kept it in?
he broke during the
I
filming of
yeah,
that.
I that did happen the first time, and then I was like,
I
and we had to
love
start
that.
again.
No, my favorite thing is in the actual final version, you can see that you break a little and then you hold it together enough to keep going, but you can still see that. And that is
Yeah,
maybe my favorite part in the entire thing because it will always crack me up is seeing you break for a millisecond and then
yeah.
go right back at it.
And the reason why was because I did this crazy ludicrous thing, and then I look across and I'm expecting to see Matt have any form of emotion in his face, like that he's trying to hold it back. And I look across and he's just looking at me like, what the hell did you just do, you
10
psycho?
out of 10 acting.
And I was like, oh, I forgot that, like, that is how a normal person would react to that situation. Like, if you're interviewing someone and they decide that they've had enough of their drink, so they throw the remainder across the kitchen, people are going to look at you and be like, what? Why'd you do that? But I was so deep into it that I didn't realize that that was like a foreign concept, was throwing this martini across the kitchen. It was very funny.
I love that you brought that up about Matt because it demonstrates just how amazing of an actor he is. Despite his constant insistence that he's a terrible actor, as I'm sure Jared in particular will know, like
Yeah.
Matt, if you're listening to this, just know that,
You better be listening.
yeah, just know that moments like that, they go to show how just goated you are at this. Anyway, I'm seeing a little thing in chat. So, one final question really quickly. You guys mentioned that this was your very first ever production made outside of the confines of uni. To what degree of accomplishment do you think you achieved? Like, how was that feeling? Like, how long did it take to sink in that you got something done purely out of passion?
It was a great feeling. It was a bit strange because we had the thing where we filmed it in January. We said, okay, Darcy, the original like editor for it, go ahead, and then he just never did anything. And then he
Oh,
was
let
like,
me
sorry,
just
I'm
say, I
too
saw
busy.
Darcy the other day.
Hey, I've Darcy. I love that
I
bloke.
saw him on Friday in Sydney.
Nice. But yeah, he unfortunately eventually was just like, I can't do this. I don't have time. So Will took over and he did a fantastic job. So we like that.
Yeah, I will say I felt very fulfilled in the moment. And then it took like a really long time, like it from January to August to, was it August? Is
September.
that when?
September.
September. from January to
Filming this
September.
in
So
August.
a pregnancy's amount of time to make it.
And
Jebaited
let
really
me
is our
just
baby.
say, it's a boy.
Yeah.
But also, it's just, it was an interesting thing in a way. And to be able to have that ability to be like, oh, we've made it out of the confine. But it's also such a sort of thing of one step in a giant staircase of like, still, it's been over a year later, and you're doing and having done many things afterwards. You realize that maybe it's like just such a minute learning process. And
Mm.
in the end, we're going to remember this moment, but it's also just going to be lessons that we carry into other projects and stuff. And I think it's just a fun concept in a way to, in some way, be sadistic and be like, oh, yeah, forget that ever happened. Like, yeah, who cares? But also, you just remember and you take from that moving forward. A
Yeah.
bit sadistically, I will think like all our like sort of student time period short films aren't going to be the best, aren't going to be perfect, but being able to see
100%.
like what we can learn from it and what we grow
Yeah.
from it. Like, admittedly, writing comedies. This has scared me from writing comedies because I'll just sit in my seat watching this with people and waiting for them to laugh, wanting
I
for
know.
them to
Well,
laugh at a joke. It is such a mortifying experience.
it is, especially with something we're going to talk about later.
And now I'm
Yeah.
banned from comedies. I banned
And
myself.
I
Nice.
also really liked it because it kind of taught me how to be on film sets. Because I was like, oh
You're
yeah,
so
guys, like
good.
I'm so ready to be here. I'm ready to like do my scenes and like do stuff. And then I
Yeah,
was just like
actually,
kind of standing in the corner for like the whole second day. I was like, what do I do? And then Jared was like, or Will, someone was like, oh, we need a voiceover, but we need it to be a woman. And I was like,
I think you kind of
okay.
came up with it on your
And
own.
I was Matt's mum, wishing him good luck, thinking that they were probably going to ask, like,
replace
I don't
it.
know, Macca or Julia to actually provide a legitimate voiceover for it. And then they didn't do that. And not only did they include that part of the mother talking to the son, but they didn't even cut out my voice, which is what they said they were going to do in the edit. They kept my voice, and I didn't change my voice that much.
Yes, you
Yeah,
So it
did.
you
sounds,
sound like a woman.
The
I think it sounds like me just talking to Matt.
We should have called up
No, yeah,
Matt's actual
that
mum.
that happens though with like hearing myself speak in two different voices. But I hope you know when you did it, when we were recording and you were doing it, I'm like, yeah, that's the voice, locking it
Yeah.
in. And even in the edit, I did ask Will to like specifically turn up your volume so we could hear you in that
Yeah, because I
scene.
wasn't even in the same room. I didn't even have a mic.
Yeah,
I
but
was in
like
a
Yeah, it
different
makes the
room.
because
audio
the
sound
phone was near
authentic.
the lav mic, and I was like, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I find
Okay,
that
one more.
hilarious for you to think that you weren't going to be in it.
Hmm.
But I was like, as soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah, you're playing Matt's mom.
Yeah. So one more point before we go away. I actually think this Debated was Bailey's first Nanobot acting performance,
It
if I
was.
recall correctly.
The first
Yeah.
of many.
I
The
remember we
first
were,
of it. Yeah, now
I
all he
was
does,
like,
he's the new Matt.
yeah, I'm in everything. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you sure we
But
can't
yeah,
just like
because
use AI to replace him?
I was never in like the same classes as you guys. I never
Yeah.
like
You're
you
on a
guys.
different campus to us.
Yeah, that's true. I was. So, yeah, I didn't really have that much interaction when you guys did uni projects until I started picking up the sort of more filmmaking courses where I could do stuff with you.
Hmm.
And even then, I didn't get to be on screen.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd have to say for a debut performance, it was incredible, and just all of your work, just as a collective, your work was just immaculate. Like, speaking as someone who was there for only 2 of those days, I can say it was just an absolutely jovial time. And as someone who only played like a very minor role, I can it was kind of the gateway for me to learn about the ins and outs of a film set. And so Jebaited will always have a very special place in my heart, as I'm sure it does for you guys. So Jebaited, the actual title we mentioned earlier was Jebaited Presents quotation mark Australia quotation mark. You know who isn't from Australia though? Ryan Gosling, who has
He's
his very own segment that isn't
Canadian.
about him, which is what we're going to do now. So, in keeping with the theme of Australia, I'm also going to preface by saying I did this like 5 minutes before we started recording. I have come up with a list of town names, just weird town names that when you hear them, you just think, whose man's was this? Who just created them? So I have a list of 10 here. 5 of them are Australian, 5 of them are not. And it is your job to determine which are from our homeland and which are the red herrings. So, with that being said, let's begin with town number 1. Sheepy Magna, is that an Australian town? And I will keep track too because that's kind of the whole
I have a
thing.
question. Is the fake towns actual town names, or are they completely made up?
Oh yes, the actual town names from different countries as well as Australia. So there's no like I don't have the brain capacity to come up with just completely
You
random
didn't have the
names. Like
brain
these are
capacity to come up with Sheepy Magna?
clearly someone else did because that is an actual town name somewhere in the world. Whether it's in
I'm
Australia
gonna
or not
s-
is for you
I'm gonna
guys
say
to
not
decide and for me
Australia.
to reveal.
Yeah. I
Why?
don't
I'm gonna
think
Because
say
you
just
think
it
New
doesn't have like
Zealand.
Australian
yeah, I was gonna
tongue.
say you're gonna say make some joke about it being in like New Zealand or Scotland or something
Yeah,
or Ireland.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's not Australia.
yeah,
okay,
not
we all
Australia.
locking in the same answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you all said it is not from Australia, and it is true. Sheepy Magna is actually a town in. Sorry, I've just got to get this up. This is my immaculate just preparation here.
Please give us a second while Jack learns to Google.
I also want to take a
Yeah,
second
I'm
to
just a boomer.
say to appreciate Jack's immaculate segue into the Ryan Gosling segment and also show some appreciation for our designated clapboard destroyer.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Intubated,
I was
Jack
kind of in
destroyed
charge
the
of just
clapperboard.
And that's what
Yeah.
he
yeah.
became known as.
And then the next project someone will talk about the destruction of a clapperboard via alcohol.
What?
The alcohol wipe, well, not the wipe, but
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which we
but
will discuss
maybe that's a
later.
story for then, yes.
But yes, let's press on. So Sheepy Magna is a town, or sorry, as Google says, a village in England. So not New Zealand, as
Ah,
heartbreaking as that might sound. But yes, Sheepy
and the
Magna
UK
is
is
in
fine.
England. Yeah, England, UK, same difference. So you're all on 1 point. Fantastic start. All right, number two is Useless Loop. Is that an Australian town or isn't it?
I feel like that has to
Say
be.
that again.
Useless Loop.
Literally just useless loop.
Okay,
Mm,
let's say that's Australia.
Just because I feel like
Um,
nowhere else in the world uses useless as much as Australia does.
I'm gonna say it's not Australia because I feel like maybe Jack's not pronouncing it correctly.
Maybe.
Useless Loop. It's literally those two words. How else would I pronounce them?
I don't know. Maybe it's like, but no, it's a thing of just semantics of looking at the word itself. Like it just might be something else in like a different language. I don't know. It just seems so outlandish. I think I'm just gonna be a contrarian and say that it is in
Yes.
Australia.
Useless lupa.
Yeah, you see, you get it.
Okay, well, sometimes being a contrarian isn't a good thing, and that is one of those times, Finn, because you're wrong and Jared and Bailey are correct. Useless Loop is located in Western Australia in Shark
Oh, that
Bay,
makes so much sense now why it's called
which is a
useless.
UNESCO World Heritage Site. And I'm definitely not
Wow.
reading this off of Google. This is just instant. This has just instantly come to mind.
It looks like you're reading this off of Google.
Yeah, you can
Break
clearly
the
tell.
illusion.
So Jared and
I'm
Bailey are
losing. I
now
don't
on 2
care.
points out of a possible two, and Finn is unfortunately on one of a possible two.
We're playing like golf rules, right? Lowest points win.
Very funny, Finn.
Maybe we can do that as like a swerve kind of thing next time. Anyway, town number three is okay. You're gonna have to excuse me for this. This is a bit of a mouthful right here. Head smashed in Buffalo Jump. It's not a band name. It's actually a town somewhere in the world. Is it in Australia though?
No.
I feel like we don't have buffaloes, so no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no, just because it says buffaloes. This is probably America.
Well, Jared, you are correct in terms of the game, but you are incorrect in terms of the actual location because Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump is in Fort Macleod, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, it's
Alberta
close enough.
basically being the Canadian equivalent of Texas, for those of you who are unaware.
Yeah,
So
you know
you
you
each get a
Canada.
point for that one. So Jared and Bailey are still batting 1,000, whereas Finn is trying to claw back some lost ground. He is on 2 out of 3.
Theoretically, you guys can just gatekeep me and answer the exact same as me every
I
single
was gonna
time.
say, yeah, that's gonna be my.
Just gang up on him.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Bowels of the Earth.
No.
I feel like
You just keep saying no, Finn.
Yeah.
I feel like that's his strategy. is if he says no enough, it'll be
I'll get
true.
one right
Here's my
eventually.
thought process. Bowels of the Earth is gonna be like the town that the Mariana Trench is near.
Here's why I disagree with that. Bowels, like you perform a bowel movement, so it's at the bottom of your body. What is Australia? Down under. I feel like it has to be in
Are
Australia.
you calling us a butt
True.
of Earth?
Well, is
That's
that really
Antarctica.
challenging the world's perception of what Australia is anyway?
No, I just wanted to double check.
All right, so Finn guessed no, Bailey guessed it is Australian. Jared, what was yours?
I'll go with Bailey and say yes.
Congratulations, Finn. You are back tied with the
Eat
boys.
shit.
Because Bowels of the Earth is in fact in, you were very close, by the way. It's in New Zealand.
Oh,
Which, as an Aussie, that kind of sounds like a term you would give to New Zealand as a whole if you're one of those ones whose entire personality is that they hate New Zealand. But yes, Bowels of the Earth, it is in the Southland of New Zealand.
Southern Ireland. Okay. I have one thing. I didn't want to say something before, but I think this might be the first time I've ever gotten a Ryan Gosling segment like quiz question wrong. I think
Oh, damn, you're keeping track.
I think I got full marks both times before this.
So that was what were the other two? One of them was the real or fake crew roles. What was the other one again?
Dude, I don't
Um,
remember.
The Fantastic Four ones. Okay,
Yeah.
Say
well,
that again.
that
You've
again.
you got a few of those wrong.
Yeah, true. I was gonna say no, it was only the other one that got full marks.
I was going to say we all got the same question wrong on the
What are we up
Fantastic
Yeah.
to
Four one.
now? We're up to the fifth one?
Yes, the
Yeah.
fifth one. Bong bong.
Australia, that's
Australia.
Australia. Yeah, I read that's in New South Wales.
Okay, Australia.
Okay,
That's
well,
where that's where I go if I want to get lit on a Saturday night. Sorry
okay, well,
about
that was far too easy. So yes, it is in New South Wales. Wikipedia says it was a small township, but I choose to believe it is still a small township. It's in the Southern Highlands, so you were all correct on that one. You're all sitting
Thank
on
you,
4
Jared,
out of
for
5.
giving me the answer.
I could be tricking you.
Yeah, but I've never been to Bong Bong and I can just copy everything you do.
Oh well.
Maybe we should do the next episode down there while potentially on. Okay, no, not on bongs, not on bongs. Let's not go that far. Number
Yeah.
6 is Booger Hole. It's a town, not the not your nostrils. This is an actual town name.
I feel like it is also Australian.
Yeah, because we've got the bogey hole.
I was
So
gonna
surely
say
there's a place called a booger
Yeah.
hole. Isn't that far off?
I think I'm gonna say no.
I think it could be UK though. So I think I might
Hmm.
go with Finn and say no.
Okay,
Oh, you
so
booger hole. Sounds like a British.
So we're saying it's not Australian and Jared is?
Yeah.
Okay.
well, Booger Hole is the historical name and nickname for a remote community in the Rush Fork Valley of Clay County, West Virginia, which is in America.
Oh,
I
So
don't know.
Finn and
Do we
Bailey,
say boogers in Australia?
Yeah, we do. That's why I
yes.
thought it was
Where
Australian.
says snot? Where says snot?
America.
Oh shit. So I just completely
I say
biffed.
both.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I guess kind of
I'm very
everywhere.
interchangeable with those terms.
I feel like there's a distinction. Yeah, let's talk about this and not gross our viewers out. I feel like I feel
Dude,
like
I've heard
snot is like
weirder
just the
on a
runny.
podcast this week.
I feel
Yeah,
like
50 viewers
snot
are
is
gonna be very
just the
upset.
runny mucus, whereas a booger is like the hard stuff.
Yeah, when it crossed up.
Oh yeah, I see what
Oh,
you mean. So what are the scores?
I got
So,
4 out of
but-
6.
Yep. So Jared's 4 out of 6, and Bailey and Finn are now tied for the lead on 5 out of 6. I made this 10 so we can sort of try and
Oh wait,
get
I
some.
thought it was out of 6. Oh, yeah, out of 10. You did say
Jared's
that.
just like, oh no, I can still win.
we've got 4 more to go, so I made it 10 because I want some variety in the
Okay.
scores.
Okay.
So yeah, number 7 is Bastardstown.
Australia.
Australia.
That's
You
in
all guessed Australia, did
that's in
you?
Hobart.
Bastardstown. Well, I have it as being not from Australia. It is in fact in Ireland, a neighborhood
Oh
of
shit,
Ireland.
maybe that's where I'm from.
Yeah, probably.
were your
Right,
parents
so you all-
married?
In Boston Town, yeah.
No, when they had you.
Yes. I'm not
I
a
was going to say that would be
bastard.
really funny if they weren't married and they had you in that town.
It would be ironic. I would do that. I would do that for the
And
jokes.
iconic. All right, so you all carked it on that one. So Jared's 4 out of 7, Bailey and Finn are now 5 out of 7.
Wait, can I say a joke? So, do you
Go
think
on.
Jon Snow is from Boston Town?
I don't get it.
Wait, shit, I fucked up. Do you think Kit Harington is from Boston Town?
I still don't get it.
He's a fucking bastard in Game of Thrones. That's why his name's Jon Snow.
Okay.
Snow is the last name of a bastard.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I can't lie.
basically, this is where you laugh.
Ha 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 ha.
You know
I've never
what's
watched a single second of Game of Thrones. It's still
what's really funny, Finn, is that I've actually seen Game of Thrones and I thought it was pretty funny, but
Thank
no one
you.
else reacted. So I wanted to see if we just sat here and was
Scope it
like,
out.
See,
Cool.
you get it. You get it. Now, you know what we get? Number 8.
All right. So number 8, we have a town called Come by Chance.
Oh.
You know, by chance, I'm going to say Australia.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Oh, you chancing
Australia.
your arm there.
yeah, Australia.
So everyone's guessing Australia.
Australia, mate.
You are correct. It is a locality in the Paliga district of northern New South Wales. It's about 100 k's north of Coonabarabran, which I've never been to, but
Yeah, I was like,
I
I don't
want
even know where
to.
this is.
I will go to
I don't think you want to
Coonabarabran purely
if the
to
name's
drive
anything to go.
Come by Chance. And by chance, you have all gained a point. So now Jared is sitting on 5 out of 8, and
Jared, you got to
Bailey
get
and
this next
Finn
one right.
are 6 out of 8, which, fun fact, is the title of a Blink 182 song.
Not 6
That's
out of
just a
9?
random trivia.
What's my age again?
It's a lot. It's much better of a song than What's My Age Again, that song. All right, number 9, Nowhere Else. Just nowhere else.
Is that
I'm gonna
the
say-
name of the town?
Yeah, nowhere else.
I feel like that's a very Australian thing to just
Yeah.
like get to a point where you're like, nowhere else.
Let's reenact when they discovered it. Where the fuck are we? Nowhere else. Ah, shit,
No.
that's a good name.
All right, so Bailey said it's Australian. Finn, are you in
Australian.
agreement?
I'll
Yeah.
say not
Jared?
Australian just to be different.
Yeah, he needs to get the points.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
risk.
Jared, you should have learned from Finn earlier about the whole contrarian thing because you are wrong on that. Bailey and Finn are correct. It is a town,
I
a
give
rural
up.
locality, in fact, in Tasmania. Unfortunately, though, it's not on the very southern tip of Tasmania, which would make the whole nowhere else thing a fitting name.
Oh,
It's kind of just
yeah.
if I can get the map up quickly, it's
In the middle.
it's towards the northern coast, but yeah, it's pretty far inland.
Wait,
so
wait, I got it. You know where it is on the map, but fuck nowhere else.
okay, well,
You were
that
meant
isn't
to
the town name,
laugh.
unfortunately. So
I wish there was a
Jared,
town
I'm
called
afraid
the
to
first
say
part
this.
of what you said.
I can't win.
But fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to live there.
Jared, I'm afraid to say this, but I think your chances of winning,
yeah, I can do the
mathematical
math.
chances are just down the drain. It's come down to Bailey and Finn with 7 out of 9, and let's end it on a banger. Fanny Bay.
I
I
feel
think
like
that's
it's
in the UK.
Australian.
No, yeah,
I think
that-
that's in the UK.
But it's just the bay that's tricking me.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
gonna
say
say
no.
I'm gonna say no as well, just because I know that like Fanny means different things in different countries. So I feel like even though it's kind of a bit lewd here, it's not necessarily the same in like America where they have like fanny packs.
You
Like,
are a
and
fan.
it's not.
I can't tell because I can't remember the count of like how many Australian and how many American there's been. But I think I'm just gonna say Australia because that's what I've been doing for the rest of the time because I thought like we've already capped at the American one. Not the American, the non-Australian ones.
So
Yeah.
Bailey and Jared are saying no, and Finn is saying yes. So we're
Yeah.
gonna get a winner here, and that winner is
Me.
Finland.
What?
Fanny Bay.
Yes, I was right. He capped the
Fanny
5
Bay is in
non-Australians.
Darwin, as a
I
matter
only
of
got
fact.
5, I think.
50%.
But hey, you still passed.
still
You got 5
passed.
out of 10.
Yeah, okay.
Peas
Bailey
getting
got,
degrees.
I want to say a distinction. He got 7 out of 10, and Finn scored 8 out of 10. So just like Origin this year, we got a decider, and depending on who your favorite unicorn convention person is, maybe it turned out the same way, or maybe you got the same satisfaction in that winner as you did the Origin winner. I know what I'm trying to say. All I will say is congratulations, Finn. Let's send you on a one-way trip to Fanny Bay or something like that.
Well, you know what I'm trying to say right now is speaking of favorite Unicorn Convention members, my favorite is William McGinnis. And you, Jack, and you, Jared, you talked with him about the 44-hour screening. So I want to hear how that went.
Whoa, how'd we end up here?
Who the fuck are
God
you?
damn, it's almost like we filmed it on a different day at a different time and with a different
Whoa.
person.
Hi.
Man, that's modern technological modern tech. Yeah, I can't speak. Anyway, that's our awkward way of segueing. So, William, a man who has definitely been with us since the start of this episode. I have a few questions for you regarding the process of Nanobot's latest venture into filmmaking, which was Quick Take's 44-hour challenge. I'm not sure if I got the name exactly spot on, but that's the name I'm going to
Short
roll
film
with.
challenge, close enough.
Yeah.
Quickies.
So, my first question to you is typically with shooting your short films and skits and whatnot, you kind of have a period of just, you don't have, you're not within these like really strict confines. Like even uni, you've got like at least like a month or a few weeks to do it. What about, actually, let me rephrase that. Sorry, I'm still like half asleep right now. Having to shoot something in the space of 44 hours, or not just shoot, write, shoot, and edit. What made you decide to take on such a treacherous task?
Um, it was a challenge. It was comedy, which I think I'm safe to say we have a bit of a knack for. I kn- there was a We knew general people, so like I knew Jared, you, maybe Finn and Bailey were going to be involved, and like that's a good bunch of people to have take on together. I just and that's just the thing. I just saw the challenge and I was like, yeah, we can give this a shot. There was this
We'll give it a shot.
There's just this sort of understanding of going, yeah, you mentioned uni about how that's very has confines, but they're not as strict. But it's always something when you're on the set, you have a certain amount of time, and for something like Deck of the Seat, where we'll really race it around the clock to get it done within 5 days, I went, I'm comfortable doing this one. It's short,
Sweet.
and we went and
Awesome.
we
So,
approached it with the sorry, and we approached it too with the idea of how can you tackle this in 44 hours? So you make the film suit that.
awesome. So, talk us through the entire process from the conception of the idea to actually, before we begin talking about the process, let's talk about the what we actually spat out. I guess that's probably not the right term because it was a very high effort production. But Mental Bakedown. Tell us about this process because believe it or not, this wasn't something we just came up with in the space of those 44 hours. There was a bit of backstory, and I'd like you to give us the backstory of that if you could.
This is funny. So naturally, as friends on social media, you have group chats with people, sometimes different ones for different purposes. Like we have one for all our friends down in Newcastle, but our main friends down in Newcastle, and we just talk and hang out and other stuff. And I think that's the chat. Finn sent a meme about a mental breakdown, or sent a meme, and there was a conversation. Oh, that's a funny name for a short film. Actually, it might not have been. It was a group chat, and I was during that night trying to make sure some food didn't go off, so I was cooking a meal late at night. And I was 12 a.m. I wasn't doing great that for that time, and I went, I'll just take the idea and spit some shit out. So I got a camera, put on this voice, and pretended I was a dirty chef for a minute. Went, we're gonna cook this chicken, and we're gonna stuff it like a Friday night date. And I open it up, and goes, oh, that's fucking lamb. We should cancel the show and takes a swig of alcohol. And I just did that in the kitchen late at night, just looking. And a couple of people thought it was funny. And Finn had like the idea of doing a short film called Mental Bakedown, which we talked about. We tried for that video was about what, October 2023. And we kept saying, oh, we'll do this thing when we got and a couple of times it fell through it, and we
Yeah,
kind of
because
just set.
we were once gonna do it, I think at the end of 2024, and we were gonna do it more as like a skit, but that sort of fell
Yep.
by the wayside.
Yeah, the
And then we
first one
sort
that got
of
really close was the end of 2023. We wanted to do it in the mate's house, and that plan
no,
fell
I think
through.
it was end of 2024,
It
not
was,
23.
I just remember Jebaited being a part of that time too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But we,
I guess
we
it doesn't
probably
really matter.
we probably tried twice. We just tried a few times, and Finn had a like rough idea for a script at one point. We
Yeah. We
and
just
that
sort of forgot about it.
well, yeah, we just had it. We have a document full of skit ideas and short film ideas, and we just kind of just went, that's at the top of the list. We'll look for when the time's right to do that.
And then that came around to when we got the prompts for the 44 hour. And then as soon as we got the carrot one, we were like, oh my God,
And
mental
we
breakdown.
mental breakdown, we kept looking at the other prompts and going, if we did mental breakdown, what would you do for that? Like, if you use a sound effect, use a certain location. And we went, shit, we're really talking about doing mental breakdown.
Yeah. And then we actually did it, which was insane.
Yeah, I still can't believe we actually turned it into something because
Yeah.
I remember when you first mentioned mental breakdown to me, this was a little bit after the conception of the idea. I was really on board with it. This it would have been the first time I would have been involved with anything nanobot related, but that ended up being debated. And I remember it being like, oh, this is just like, is this just going to be like an inside joke, just like a running joke, kind of being like, oh yeah, guys, we're doing mental breakdown, and then we just keep putting it off and putting it off. Like I remember even in our Discord server, we had like an entire project channel dedicated specifically to mental breakdown, but it got renamed,
Just
and
to
then
nanobot skits.
Yep.
yeah,
And
and then we ended up making a completely new channel, which ended up being Full Mental Breakdown, which is really funny if you ask me.
you were the
Yeah, that
biggest
is
Okay,
you were the
pretty
biggest
funny.
supporter of it because you had a letterbox review where you mentioned the upcoming Nanobot Studios short mental breakdown. I think it was Cat in the Hat or something.
I could
And,
yes, it was Cat in the Hat. I completely forgot about that. I'm gonna have to reread that at some
and
point because yeah, the fact that that's actually a reality is. I think I said it's coming to a like a not a cinema but like a screen near you at some point before the heat death of the universe, and we're all still alive right now. So yeah, we accomplished it, which is
and
awesome.
yeah, and then
So
wrote
let's
a
talk
script
about
for screenwriting. You wrote a script for screenwriting where you mentioned mental breakdown about a father and his kid going to watch it,
that too. Yeah. I just wanted to work mental breakdown into as much of just my weird ideas as possible,
and it worked.
thinking it was going to be nothing more than just an obscure joke. But now we've actually made it, which is incredible. Let's
Hmm.
talk about the fact that we've actually made it. Like, let's go into the process, the meat and potatoes of it. So talk us through start to finish how it went, because we obviously had 44 hours to do it. How did we make use of those 44 hours? And do you think we could have used it better, or do you think we used it appropriately?
Um, well, as Jared mentioned, we got the prompts we talked about. We went, okay, we're doing mental breakdown. Let's start working on it. But first, let's get dinner, which was KFC. I originally bought a
Shorty
note.
get
Shorty, get inspired. How about that? But
How
I brought
about
a
that?
note. I brought a notebook with me so I could write down ideas while at KFC. Except as we are ordering, we changed it. Went, we'll go straight back.
So it was like,
So,
well, that was pointless.
and so we just all of us got on the computer on a shared Google Doc to start writing down ideas, and we just talked and spat out things that we wanted to try and work out a structure. The thing we had in mind was you didn't have necessarily time limit, but the general idea is quicker is better. So we aimed for about 3 to 5 minutes of which the final edit eclipsed that.
Yeah.
But
It will.
and we wanted an intro scene to kind of make a bit of a story for it, and the final scene we wrote down some ideas for that, and that was a couple of dialogue things for that. And then we went, well, this is about a bunch of unqualified people auditioning for a cooking show. Let's give a nice round three to kind of have something to it rather than just one person going, yeah, I can cook. No, I can't.
Exactly. And I think since we had already asked actors going into it, like, would you like to be a part of it? We know because we knew which day we were going to be filming, even if we didn't know what we were going to be filming until the day before. But thankfully, we had actors who could get into character pretty easily.
And we just wrote the idea of what each character was, and we just put a list of dot points down saying what we think we'd like them to do, things that were funny and things like Bailey's character. We just went, he should be a bit more precise. You should look at him and think maybe he's a bit of a murderer or psychopath, and
Yeah.
how he would do his cooking routine. And then someone like Jack's character, I remember like we call him Derek Pera.
I don't know how we came up with that name, but
We're all tired. We're like, here's a name, and let's make it a funny. Like Bailey was what, Tommy Gunn,
yeah. Well, that would make sense.
and Jesse's character was Sue Kitchen.
Kitchen. I came up with Sue Kitchen. I was very happy with that.
Yep, you did. And but we kind of just wrote what in those segments, what do we want to happen? We didn't really write down dialogue ideas because we kind of just talked partway through going, hey, let's make this a bit of an improv, make it a bit loose.
Yeah.
Have something.
Well, we did have
Like,
some
we had
dialogue
some dialogue, but
ideas.
we had some dialogue, but the most of that was the ending and the opening.
Hmm.
And that's where hindsight, where we could have done a bit, but like Finn talks about how you should have written a bit more of we should have written a bit more of a proper script.
Yeah, I do agree with it. I think we started off really strong, but as the night went on, we kind of started to dwindle and ideas started to
Yeah, we just went.
crash.
Yeah, we just went. Let's get that structure, that rough plot down. We'll work through it with that. Which, when we got the filming, it was right, but practically each segment of that was a short film in itself.
Hmm. And we just cut between the three, I mean.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So we did that. We had it prepped. We talked about how we wanted to film it, because that was part of tackling it. Was we went, let's make the story and the idea work for 44. Let's make it. What's the way I put this? Well, we filmed it like a cooking show. We pretty much filmed it. We went to make it work for 44 hours. What if we filmed it like a cooking show?
Hmm.
Two camera lines rather than just doing it like a proper film where you'd have this shot, rearrange the camera and move it to a different area. We just went one camera here, that's our main one, another camera, and we film it like that.
Hmm.
Which during filming, me and Finn talked about it, and we went, oh, each chef should have a separate version of that camera. Shot it just slightly different, like one's handheld, one's more close in. Very fast, very loose.
Hmm.
Awesome. I think you kind of already touched on it a little bit, but like with when we were sort of going through all the ideas and how as the night went on, we just kind of they became a lot less kind of structured. But were there any other points at all during the process where you could really see the fatigue start to set in? Like I know we went to bed relatively early. Like I anticipated we were going to pull an all-nighter. Like
Oh no, I was never gonna pull an all-nighter. No way.
I was prepared to do
oh
that.
damn, really?
No, I wanted
So I
my
bought
beauty sleep before filming the next day.
So
I
I
like
brought
my
the
s-
12-pack of Red Bulls for nothing.
No, they came in handy.
for
I
filming.
guess.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think
were there
I was gonna say I think filming went relatively well. I say once editing came in, then the
That's
tiredness. It's like whenever we did anything at night, that's when the
yeah,
tiredness sort of set in.
yeah, yeah. That's because yep, filming went really good. It was very loose. It was act us talking with actors and the actors doing their thing, which I really liked. And did editing. I synced it all up. I put a rough assembly, which was like start off as like 40 minutes of footage, and then I cut it down to the good stuff, which was 14 minutes. And then from there, I was trying to cut it up and make it a bit more stomachable because the idea of Mental Bakedown is funny. If it's 14 minutes the way, it's not. No one's going to find it funny. There's little bits that are good with less, and there was a lot of experiment like chopping stuff out, moving it around, and the fatigue really came was because I did a bunch of it. Jared stepped in and did a bit. Finn would say, "What if you did this? I like the idea of doing this." He'd get distracted. Me and Jared would give it a go. We went, "It's not really working." And we'd go back to the start, and Finn would say, "I think you should try this. We have spent the last 15 minutes trying this."
Yeah, I remember
We,
that uh, Finn was giving his advice. Some was good, but then other times we were like, "Yeah, we already tried that and it didn't work. So can you like?"
yeah, there was some good stuff, but yeah, the mate was just some things you'd try and you just hit your head over and you go, it doesn't work, and you just hear it again. What if we tried this?
What if we tried this? It's like Finn. God
Uh,
damn it! It's good that we're doing this while he's not here to defend himself too.
it, I wasn't going that far, but fuck. But it was it was good. It was so editing. I think was roughly good. It was just time consuming. You went, let's do it, do it, do it, and just those little bursts really signified what the fatigue was. But luckily for us, most of the edits was completed that night in terms of cuts and that. So you'd have the whole morning to work on it.
Hmm.
awesome? Okay, so my last question here, because I can hear our stomachs rumbling right now. Um, what kind of lessons, if any, have you learned from that whole experience? And do you think you'd be willing to give it another shot or take part in a similar kind of experience in the future?
Well, I'm just gonna reverse it. So, yes, I'm down for another. I'm down to do another one. It was insanely good. It was fun. I learned a bit from it. I think one of the things I learned from it was being you should be able to say this is going too long. When we did the shooting for some of the actors, because they were, as I said, they were 3 minutes in their own right, some of the scenes takes. So I guess with time we could have went, hey,
Speed it up.
this is this is great. Can we either speed it up or can we remove some parts from that?
Yeah, I think as Will said, I think that's probably the biggest thing we learned about
Yeah,
like
yeah,
trying to keep on top of it. I think we did that somewhat well considering
yeah, yeah,
obviously the time constraints, but I think learning that like even more
yeah,
to like really keep like the
yeah,
audience
yeah,
engaged.
yeah. And from the inception, because some of it was from the prompts, was to, I guess when we were talking about ideas to do for it, we should have just bounced off each other for potential and gone, okay, this is dragging on. This maybe it's not working. We can keep that in the back pocket.
Yeah. I think for me, I
J-
think we definitely should have been more like solidified like what we want in terms of food because I bought a bunch of food that we didn't end up even using, which kind of
Yeah,
sucked. But yeah, I think if we had more of an idea of specifically what we wanted,
yeah,
that would have been probably a
yeah,
bit more beneficial for the
yeah.
overall
I mean, some
product.
of the food was used, but It just didn't end up in the final cut.
Yeah, exactly.
And no, we're not releasing the 14-minute cut.
No, well, the 14-minute wasn't even the proper one. It was with
No.
like it would have been really boring.
Yeah, we're not exactly. Yeah, I mean, because
Was
people might want to say we want to see all the jokes that you were thinking about for
Yeah,
the
we'll
end.
do the juggling mushroom cut.
that the official name of it?
Release the
It,
Juggle Muscle cut.
exactly. That's probably the only
Juggle
thing
Muscle.
the only thing off the top of my head that I can remember that we cut that I was sad about.
Yeah, like Bailey's was probably this. Bailey's very much the serious man in that,
Hmm.
and it works best the more you cut out and put in between. So, like, if something crazy happened with one of the others, he just speaks very calm, going, "A day at the park with your parent is a day to be
Be
remembered."
removed.
Your eternal life giver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bailey,
That's such a hard line. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, Bailey definitely got to strut his stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
but it was also very fun.
Sweet. I liked your point about audience retention because yeah, like TikTok brain is just ruining everyone's attention spans. So that's a very
Yeah.
important thing to consider. Finn is virtually tapping me on the shoulder. I think he wants to say something, so we'll let him speak.
Awesome. Nice to have you on, Will.
Nice too. Thank you.
Goodbye, Sir William.
Much appreciated.
And now let's teleport back.
Okay, so we're back.
And we're back.
We're back. But one thing I did want to ask about the 44-hour challenge was because I was like so fatigued afterwards that I didn't go to the screening. What actually happened to the screening? Because I've yet to actually find out.
So the screening, we showed up. We showed up quite early yet. There was like everyone there. Like Eleanor was there. Actually Bailey was there before
Yeah,
me.
I
Me
was
and
the
Will
first
came.
one there.
Well, so you were tardy, Jared.
Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. So we got there, chatted to all the people that we knew. It was great to catch up. Then it took a while. We were a bit late, but all the people who were supposed to start at a certain point were a bit late. But we eventually started the screening, got through all of them. And then we had the awards presentation, which was sad because I think we just missed out on getting a prize because it was pretty much 3 films got a prize. And I was like, I think we were just unlucky to miss out.
Yeah, and one film got 2 prizes, and the other,
Oh,
and
well,
one
no,
of,
the one was the behind the scenes, so that doesn't really count.
We should have won that.
yeah, but we were second place for that, and they already won a prize. So I feel like we
Yeah.
should have won that prize because
Yeah, well, if we had a dedicated social media person on the day, we probably would have.
true.
Yeah, Jared, you can be the dedicated social media person next time.
But I'm the producer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's
That's
such
what
an
they need.
Social
important role.
media coordinate. What was the term? Social media behind the scenes person producer. Yeah.
Just who cares? Anyway, but the screening was fun. It was really good. Getting to laugh at other people's film and then hearing people laugh at
Our film.
your own, which
That's
obviously
why I
is
wasn't there because I was so terrified of hearing no
exactly
laughter.
when Finn referenced that earlier in the episode, that's what I was referring to.
And also, there were lots of moments where people didn't laugh, and I was like, "Oh!" But then the laugh hit like about 20 seconds later because
Yeah,
I
there's a
I
lot of
didn't
delayed
think we were
laughter.
being, yeah, I didn't think we were being that cerebral, but I guess we were. I guess we were being like smart funny, and we were also being. It was also very of the time because we made a
Yeah.
few references to things that were very timely.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was another thing of like being taken aback by like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you referenced that. We mentioned mushrooms and
Aaron Patterson.
yeah, there was a woman that got charged for poisoning her family and they died. She got charged with murdering her family by poisoning them with mushrooms. So yeah, in other words, we're very sensitive and politically
Oh yeah, we
correct
also have someone
filmmakers.
shooting themselves in the head with a Nerf gun.
And then
Oh,
we
yes.
and then we had a joke talking about how Stephen Colbert got fired.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we also proceeded to do all of that with a complete lack of trigger warning.
Yeah, we added that in the YouTube version, so you're welcome.
It's like a Yorgos Lanthimos movie.
It's okay. Alan Brady gave the content warning before, which was nice.
Oh, that's smart.
But
Yeah, like as soon as he said it, I was like, oh yeah, our film's gonna be there.
Yeah. As soon as he said suicide, I was like, that's us. Yay.
So overall, it was a good time, banger time. We should have won.
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
sadly not.
It
You s-
wasn't a good time. We shouldn't
No.
have won.
It wasn't
we
a
shouldn't have.
banger.
No, it was a good time, but we shouldn't have won. The three films that went above us deserved it.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Look at
Like, I'd
Jared being
say,
all full credit to the boys.
I
well,
disagree because I haven't seen them.
exactly. Well, going into like the last one, which was the last one they showed was my personal favorite. I remember going into that and knowing there was like 3 awards and being like, okay, if this movie isn't as good as I think it will be, we maybe have a chance of getting in. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, well, bloody Nathan wins like the GOAT. Just it's like, no,
yeah.
no.
But you know what? As said before, this is a stepping stone, one small step in a staircase.
Exactly.
We'll learn, we'll be back, and we'll win. But
Exactly.
I think that might
And
be
it's
all we
also
have.
it was the first ever,
First ever.
but they're looking at making it like an annual thing. But yes, the first ever
I sure
one.
hope so.
What the fuck?
Now
the
we're ready for the second ever. And speaking of what the fuck, we're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? You know what's going on? We're gonna call it a day. Jared, where can they find us?
They can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And also, I should probably say Spotify on if you want to listen to this podcast on Spotify.
Or on YouTube if you're listening to this on Spotify.
Yeah, I said YouTube, but
I just realized I looked like I was about to cry, but I'm not. I'm just so perplexed at what my iPad camera is doing.
I love your iPad camera.
yeah.
But you know what? I
Before we
love
before
what?
we go, we should probably say something at the screening. Jax, she took the kids joke, was ruined by technical difficulty.
Yes.
I was about to bring that up. Will did mention that to me
I can't
in
believe I was
chat.
like,
It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
One
I
of the,
saw that and I was like,
I think
oh.
it's legitimately the funniest joke that's in the film, and
it
the
got ruined.
film
No one heard it.
stopped. The film started buffering, and then because everyone was so shocked at the buffering, someone made a joke because earlier in the night, Brady, the host, had said, "Any technical faults? That person that's in the front row, it's gonna be that person's fault." And I think his name was like Jerry or whatever. So as soon as the film
It was
started buffering,
David.
someone said, "Oh, David." Someone was like, "Oh, David," and then everyone started laughing at the fact that someone was like, "Oh, that's such a funny callback to the joke that the host made at the start of the show." And then it started playing again, and the laughter completely cut off Jack's joke, and no one was able to witness the masterful comedy that was She Took the Kid.
David,
Oh god,
you've made an
I'm
enemy
so
for
hot right
life.
now because Will was very vague about it. Like I'm hearing all the meat and potatoes about it now. I'm just, oh man, I'm okay. Now we definitely have to run it back next year to ensure there's no. I don't even care about winning. I just want to be there and for there to be no technical faults. If we can get through a screening with no technical faults, I'll take that as a win. Screw the prizes. The ultimate prize is knowing we made it through a whole thing.
Yeah, literally no
without
one
anything.
else got buffered.
Yeah.
Ours was the only one.
It's because we were just
our
too
luck, am I
good.
right? Just our
Overload
luck.
of humor. They knew the joke was going to be too powerful that they had to end it. Speaking of ending it, thank you for listening, and that's a wrap.